Just break it down in plain English so that they understand. Okay. And again, I'm not saying dumb it down. What I'm saying is don't use so much medical jargon that your posts come across so freaking stiff and professional and all of that. Because again, it's not going to stop the scroll. It's not going to, you can still be professional, but still break it down and not have all the, all the high level medical terms. Okay. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Charyse Williams Show. And today we're talking about the power of precision. Yes, indeed. And actually, in fact, over the next probably 4 episodes or so, we're going to be really leaning into visibility and messaging, because if you lack the visibility and you are struggling with messaging, you're going to struggle with clients. You're going to struggle with really not just launching your business, but also scaling your business beyond where it is right now. So in this episode, The Power of Precision, we're going to talk about why your messaging isn't landing, and most importantly, what to do about it. Are you excited? Good. Fabulous, because I am too. So I'm going to really break down for you the real reason your content isn't converting. And side note, it's not the algorithm. It's not the algorithm. It's your messaging. That's the little mic drop. That's the secret that that maybe some people won't tell you. But if you're visible online, if you're posting online, and whatever you're posting isn't converting, meaning it's not driving conversations, it's prompting people or encouraging people to reach out to you in the DMs or book a consult or whatever the case may be, if it's not converting people online into paid clients, it's your messaging. It's your messaging, okay? And it could be a variety of things, but today we're going to focus on messaging. So for the vast majority of brilliant practitioners, because y'all are all brilliant, we are all brilliant, right? For the vast majority of you, you're visible, right? You're like you have an online presence, but you're vague. Visible but vague. Not a great combination. Might sound really cute, but not really a great combination, because vague does not convert. Vague doesn't convert. This is about precision. Precision. Say it with me. Precision. And so when your message is clear, when your message is bold, when your message is rooted in your secret sauce, and when it's rooted in your 100% authenticity, everything changes. Everything changes. Yay. And what happens is most importantly, what changes is that you stop attracting low intent followers, right? I don't know about you, but I'm not here to be an influencer. Now, do I have influence? Yes. Do you have influence? Yes. We all have a certain level of influence, but is my goal to be an influencer by today's standards? Absolutely not. I could care less, right? And I'm guessing that it's not your goal either. But so what happens is you stop attracting low intent followers, and instead you start magnetizing ready right now. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. Ready right now clients who are already bought into you as a person, as a brand, as a practitioner, right? They're already bought into your brilliance. They're already bought into your methodology. You've already broken through that know, like, and trust factor, right? You've built a level of rapport with them. Like, that's already there before they even reach out to you in the DMs, before they even make it into the office with you, before they even schedule a consult. This is a good thing. This is a good thing, because you're not trying to do all those things all in one. They basically already come to you pretty much pre-enrolled or pre-sold. Like, they know that you are their next move, their next investment, right? They know that they're about to invest in themselves through your product, or excuse me, through your service or products, if you have products, but through your service, right? And they're excited about it, right? So this already happens before they even show up, which is really great. So let's first talk about let's call it the hidden cost of playing it safe. And what I mean by playing it safe, and this is as it relates to your messaging, what I mean by playing it safe is doing what everyone else does, right? I like to call it vanilla content. Like, it's so, if I pulled up 5 functional medicine practitioners or 5 holistic health coaches or whatever the case, if I put up 5 of their profiles and kind of scroll just 10 seconds through their content, it all kind of looks the same, sounds the same, so there's no differentiator. That is not what you want. And that's playing it safe with your messaging. And when you play it safe with your messaging, that equates to no clients, or even worse. And you might be thinking, what's worse than no clients? The wrong clients, you guys. There is a such thing as the wrong clients, right? They show, and if you, depending on how long you've been in business, you already know this. But if you're newer in business, or if you haven't quite experienced this yet, number one, as my grandma used to always say, keep on living, right? But this, secondly, clients that are the wrong clients, they're non-committal. They don't show up, for themselves, let alone like for their sessions or come in. They're always rescheduling. They're non-compliant. It's the worst. If just picture what's the worst possible person to work with. That's it. You don't want to attract those kind of people. Listen, one of the beautiful things, and I say this all the time, one of the most beautiful things about having your own business is that you get to work with who you want to work with. You don't have to. Unlike a job, you have to work with whatever patients you're assigned to that day or whatever. In your business, you get to decide if you're going to take this person on as a client or not, which is a beautiful thing. Because listen, if I am, building something from scratch, I want to make sure that it's something that I absolutely love. And I want to make sure that the people that I am working with are people that I absolutely love working with, right? So one of the important reasons why your messaging needs to be on point. So you might be thinking, okay, what's an example? Like, can you give me an example, Charyse, of what's not vanilla? Yes, I can. So glad you asked. So let's take it. I'll use a literal real life example for me, because the women that I work with in my holistic health coaching business, they are primarily high achieving women who have either pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, or primary hypertension. Okay, those are my ideal clients, right? So if I am posting something like the top 3 ways to to reverse your blood, to balance your blood sugar, but if that's all the content that I am posting, listen, you can Google that. Anybody can literally pull up their phone, Google it, Google it on their phone, put it in Chat GPT, whatever the case may be. Anybody can do that. And if your area, and I'm just using type 2 diabetes because that's my thing, right? So if that is that's my area of expertise. But so if that's your area, if that's your niche or your area of expertise, and like I could pull up 3 or 4 or 5 functional medicine practitioners, and they're all saying the same thing, right? Top 3 ways of whatever. So that's vanilla. That's anybody, everybody, right? My personal, not just my personal belief. I mean, this is something that I have conviction around. Like, and I have posted this, and I will continue to post things like this. But it sounds something to the effect of, if you have type 2 diabetes and you've been on meds for over 5 years, you're doing it wrong. I mean, like, literally, that plain and simple, you're doing it wrong. Like, just call it out. There is no reason in the world that someone has type 2 diabetes and they're on meds 5, 10, 20, 15, 20, 30 years for the rest of their life. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'd be doggone. And I'm telling, I'm going to call it out. I'm going to say it, right? Or I'll post something like, if your provider's not actively working with you to eliminate the need for your type 2 diabetes meds, you're doing something wrong, or you need to find a different provider. Say that. Yes, it is polarizing, but guess what? That's what you want your message to be. Trust me, people who have seen that on my profile, they'll never forget it. And the people who don't agree. So here's the thing: you got to get out of this. If you're in the phase of, I don't want to offend anybody, I want everyone to like me. That's your problem. Everyone's not going to like you. And here's the thing: no matter what you say or do, everyone's still not going to like you, and that's okay. So you might as well voice your conviction, right? Polarize and literally attract the people who resonate with that messaging, and you're going to repel the ones that don't, which is fine. That's exactly what you want. Not everyone's going to resonate with your message. You're not here to help everyone. Everyone doesn't even want help. Let's start there. You're not here to help everyone. You couldn't possibly help everyone even if you wanted to. You don't have the capacity, the time. You just don't. Okay. So that's an example. So hopefully that landed with you. So, because what happens is when you have messaging that is very bland, very generic, very vanilla, as I like to call it, you actually are, you become invisible. You think that, oh, I'm posting online, I'm top 5 ways, top 3 ways, and what happens is it doesn't stop the scroll. No one even sees it. So if you're wondering, gosh, why isn't, like, I'm consistent, I'm posting, but no one's converting. take a look at that. Okay. And it also really starts to kind of chip away at trust, right? Because they don't trust that you really truly can help them. Even though I know you can, listen, you've got the education, right? You've got the experience, you've got the credentials, right? That's not even in question. But the way you're presented online creates doubt, right? So it breaks trust, or it doesn't help to build trust. Okay. And so you want to make sure that, again, your messaging is really speaking to them in such a way that no one else is speaking to them, right? And here's the thing: even if you just, I'll just say that in a way that no one else is speaking to them. Speak the convictions of your heart as it relates to whatever niche, as it relates to healthcare in general. If you're listening to me on this podcast, or if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, whichever one, however you're watching this or listening to this, then what I know for sure is that we're of the same belief and mindset that the current state of healthcare is a no-go. It is horrible. We don't have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system, right? As evidenced by people being on blood pressure medicine for 20 years, for the entirety of their life. What? For a preventable and a reversible disease? Are you freaking kidding me? Exactly. Don't get me started. Listen, I get really hot. So here's an indicator. That's a really good indicator that's just kind of come into the conversation. If you are speaking about something and it really boils your blood, you better be posting about it. Don't water it down. Do not water it down. Post it. Yes, it's gonna, like I said, repel some folks, but it's gonna definitely attract the people to you, like honey to, like bees to honey. It's gonna attract them. Like, oh my God, you think like me? I think like that too. You believe that? I believe that too. You can help me with this. Oh, great! I've been looking for someone. With the same ideology, with the same belief that can help me. I'm telling you, go there. Okay. Okay, the second thing, or the third, fourth, I don't even know what number I'm on at this point, but when you are posting, one thing I want to definitely encourage you to yes, we know you're smart, we know you're brilliant, but remember, you're not talking to other clinicians, you're talking about the general public, and not that the general public is dumb, not by any stretch of the imagination, but certain medical terminology that is very, very common to you and I, it's not going to necessarily land with them. Right. So don't be overly medically, don't use so much medical terminology. Break it down so they understand. Just break it down in plain English so that they understand. Okay. And again, I'm not saying dumb it down. What I'm saying is don't use so much medical jargon that your posts come across so freaking stiff and professional and all of that. Because again, it's not going to stop the scroll. It's not going to, you can still be professional, but still break it down and not have all the high level medical terms. Okay. All righty. So there's that. And then of course we want to make sure that your messaging, that it sells, that it's designed in such a way to sell, right? So you want to really shift from being informational. Like I gave you an example of that. Informational content is more like, okay, 3 ways to XYZ, top three ways to balance your hormones, top 3 ways to, fix your gallbladder, whatever. You get what I'm saying, right? So you want to switch from just purely informational. I'm not saying you can't do it. You can do it, but that shouldn't be all of your content, right? So you want to shift from just purely informational to diagnostic, is what I like to call it. Diagnostic content is where you are calling out a problem and you are identifying, you're calling out the problem, you're identifying the gap, right? And you're identifying you as the solution, or you're inserting you as the solution. That's diagnostic. Okay. All right. So that being said, I always have an exercise for you, because again, you think it's a visibility problem, and it may or may not be, but I would definitely venture to say that more than likely, if you are showing up consistently online, it's not so much a visibility problem for you. It's really a messaging problem. The beauty of that is that can be fixed. Yay. Okay. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, well, I'm not showing up online, or I'm not showing up online consistently. And when I say, let me just say this, because I've looked at some, I do social media audits all the time. For potential clients, like they're not sure if they want to enroll in a program just yet, but they're like, okay, can you just look at my profile and tell me what I need to do? So one thing, I looked at one particular nurse practitioner's content, and it was memes. It was all health related memes, but that does nothing. Now, is it Yes, throw out a funny every once in a while. Throw out a funny little meme that as it relates to health every once in a while. But this was every day, like actually multiple times a day. Like you know how you send memes and funny things to your friend or your cousin, like your bestie or whatever. Me and my cousin go back. Me and my bestie and me and my cousin go back, and me and my son, like all day. Well, when we're not working or whatever, we're sending memes all the time. So it's kind of like that. Like they're literally just posting memes, and it's like, wait a minute. Number one, that has nothing to do with your she is in particular is in medical weight loss. That's those the things that you're sharing has nothing to do with medical weight loss, right? It has nothing to do with you and your services. But she's visible. Again, it's not about just being visible, right? That's not content. You're literally just sharing other people's content. That will not affect your bottom line in any way, shape, or form. Period. Point blank in the story. Okay. All right. So if you are showing up online, though, this is for those of you who are showing up online, you feel like you're doing the right thing, but the way that you know that something's off is that it's not converting. That's how you know, right? So it's not so much a visibility problem, but it's more so a messaging problem, right? That's the nuts and bolts of it. So your message doesn't really reflect the power of your work. That's a problem, right? It doesn't reflect the power of your work, and it doesn't agitate the real problem, which is the weight or the fatigue or the hot flashes, whatever, the cortisol belly, whatever it is, right? It doesn't agitate the real problem or elevate the real desire, the desire of what it is that they want, right? And that's costing you sales every single day. That's costing you clients every single day. That's costing your business every single day. Okay. And so what can we do? What do we do? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to look at your core offer, whatever your core offer is. Some of you only have one offer. That's fine for now. Some of you have multiple offers. That's cool too. I want you to look at your core offer. So whether that's your signature program, whether that's a root cause blood work analysis, for those of you that are in the process practitioner program that are listening, or maybe maybe you're not in the process practitioner program, but you offer that. Whether it's an intensive, whatever it is, whatever the case may be, I want you to look at your core offer, and now I want you to answer 3 questions out loud, not in your head. 3 questions out loud, like literally. I want you to talk back to me right now. 1, who is it? Who is this exactly for? Okay, who is it exactly for? Just say it. And if you're stuttering and stammering, okay, we got to clean that up. Secondly, what specific painful problem does it solve? Specific. Now, if you're listing off X, Y, Z, and ABC, okay, that's a red flag. Third thing I want you to ask yourself out loud right now is what shift or outcome will they walk away with that they couldn't create on their own? That's why they're seeking support anyway. They wouldn't be seeking you out if they could solve the problem on their own. So what shift or outcome will they walk away with after that they couldn't create on their own after working with you? Spit it out. Go. And so here's the thing. If you can't answer those clearly and succinctly and confidently, right, in under 30 seconds, 15, 20, 30 seconds max, your messaging is still too vague. If you got to do a whole lot of explaining, too vague. If you're running down a list of diabetes and hypertension and high cholesterol and thyroid and menopause, no. Not that you can't help with that. Yes, you absolutely can. I feel like I talk about niche ad nauseum, but pick a niche and go with that. That's what your marketing is towards. Yes, you can help them with all the other issues, but you're not going to be always be speaking about all those other issues. Okay, so again, if you can't answer those questions succinctly, clearly, confidently, 20 seconds or less, messaging is too vague, right? And so what I want you to do is you need to refine it. You need to say it sharper. You need to say it bolder. And then, stop or finish, huh? Nope. And then go record like a 60-second video or audio. It could be audio if you want to. 60-second video, 60-second audio, whatever. Sharing that. Just raw, precise, powerful. That's it. Bonus points if you actually post it. But even if you don't post it, I mean, that'd be really good since you did it. Might as well post it. But even if you don't post it, the power in this is you actually doing it, right? Getting it down 60 seconds sharp, just powerful, like nail it. Okay. So y'all, this is the type of work that we do inside the Quantum Leap Collective, right? It's in a very systematic way, but this is the type of work that we do in the Quantum Leap Collective. We show you how to turn your voice into a magnet, right? For the right clients. Okay. For not just your your high ticket programs and services and offers, but also your mid ticket, even your low ticket, right? Because they all matter and there's a place for everyone to fit, right? So the reality is, for most of you, you don't need more content necessarily, but you need your messaging needs to be nailed, right? It needs to be dialed in. Your messaging needs to move people into action. And the action is, yes, I want to work with you, right? So if you're ready to start refining your message, start owning your power, start staying in your power, and create clients on demand, then check the show notes down below. I'm going to link the Quantum Leap Collective down below. And join us. Join us inside the Quantum Leap Collective. Okay. That being said, you guys, I love you. I appreciate you. And as always, see you next time. Bye.